So today we're going to talk about how to bevel the edges and prepare the slab box to be joined. You can see I have one here where I've already cut those edges at a 45-degree angle, and so that will help to make joining them a lot easier. So I have my pattern and I have my slabs. My slabs are leather hard. Notice they're not flimsy anymore. I'm going to lay my pattern in the middle of that. This is why we cut extra space around each slab and leave a little bit of clay there. So lay your pattern down, hold it steady. You're going to use your fettling knife and you're going to angle away from you. So we're going to cut at a 45-degree angle using the pattern as a guide. And then hang on to that extra clay. You're going to need that. So I just have mine here in a bag. And I'm going to trim all 4 of these sides. And as I come close to that edge, I want to be careful that I don't rip it or tear it so that it doesn't get ruined. So try to do it so that you can see on the camera. So you can see I'm really just taking the corner off. So it's just a triangular shape there. You can see that. And then I'm saving those little scraps so that I can use those for the coils that are going to go inside. So I think it's easier if you just cut all of them at once. So I'm just going to slide these off to the side and cut the next ones. And so next, once I have these all cut, I'll come back in and begin joining them. To join these, I'm going to slip and score. So you can see I have these cut, and I'll clean these up a bit, but you can see I have these edges cut. So I have a nice little angle on there, and I'm going to score here and here, and then these will sit nicely on each other this way. So we get a nice beveled edge that makes it a little bit easier to join. So the next step, once you have those all cut, is go ahead and come in and score those edges where you just cut. Remember to be aggressive in your scoring. Don't, the purpose of that scoring is to raise that clay up to make it rough so that it grips the other piece. So I'm going to do that the whole way around. And I'm going to do that on both of the slabs that I'm going to join. And if you want to, you can go ahead and do all 4 sides, whatever's easiest. And notice I'm not being too concerned about if I go onto the surface of the slab, because I'm going to add a coil there to help that join. So don't stress about that too much. So I have these areas scored. I'm going to take my paintbrush, and I have a little bit of slip here. I'm going to go ahead and paint that edge, the slip. And then now at the beginning, you're going to have to support this side because there's nothing over here to hold it. So I'm going to go ahead and press that against it. Turn this so you can see it. I really want to make sure I'm forcing these edges together. So usually from the outside, I'll come in and just press to help them. And you'll see if I let this go, right now there's not a whole lot of support, so this could fall easily. So do have something there that you can place up against it to help it. And so from here, I have to reinforce this joint. I'm going to take a little bit of that clay scraps that I had, and I'm going to roll out a coil. And then I'm going to take that coil and I'm going to place it in that joint to help it. So I'm going to go ahead and blend that in and pinch off what I don't need. Keep that wrapped up so that those don't dry out. And then I like to take my sculpting tool and really blend this in. So I'm gonna press down into that clay and really blend into that slab. So what I'm doing is forcing clay into that joint to make sure it's nice and secure. And I'm supporting on the outside as I do this. So don't stress about this too much. I'm going to come back in and clean this up. For now, I just want it to be blended well. And it's really important that I get the second side on here. Otherwise, this doesn't have any support. So again, repeating that, I'm going to go ahead and score these edges. And then add a little bit of slip and attach the second or the third slab here. So scoring. Here, and you can score as you go, whatever makes sense to you. Clearly I need to do two sides because I'm joining here. So score this. And then go ahead and apply a little bit of slip here. And then push that into place. And now that this one has a little bit of support, I don't need this container of tools behind it. I'm going to go ahead and move that. But I do need to go ahead and reinforce those joints in here. So the corner and the new one that I just made. And then I'll repeat the whole way around.